सुरू करा सर, काही हरकत नाही. घ्या सर.
So good evening to you all. Shri Kumarswami Mahavidyalaya Ausa, District Latur is organized World Record Series 2. Today is the 103rd day of the series, and the keynote speaker for us for today's session is Dr. MITHRA R. Madam. So I welcome to you, Madam, for the dais.
Thank you, sir.
Then I welcome to the Chief Organizer, Honorable Principal M.M. Betkar, sir. I welcome to you, sir. I welcome to Dr. Sanjay Kale, sir. Dr. K.N. Kadam, sir. Dr. Sudhir Garad, sir. Dr. Anita Dole, madam.
Mitra madam, you can make camera your on.
And Praveen Woodge, sir. I welcome to you, sir. And lastly, I heartily welcome all those dear participants, those who joined the series on time. So today's topic for the presentation is personal finance, which going to present Honorable MITHRA R. Madam. So Madam MITHRA R. Madam, she is from Kingston Engineering College, VELLORE. So now I request the keynote speaker, Dr. MITHRA Madam, please start your presentation on the topic personal finance. Welcome, Madam. Please.
Thank you, sir. I hope you are having a refreshing evening. Good evening, everyone. And I have to show my gratitude first. I thank Mr. Dr. Betkar, sir, and Dr. Hema Malini, ma'am, and Ms. Haita Varshni, who have introduced me about this scheme. So thank you all. And may I start presenting, sir?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Yes, madam.
Is it visible, sir?
Yes.
Yeah. And my topic today is on personal finance. So outline of this is, what is finance? What are all the types of finance? And what is personal finance? What are all the areas that are in the personal finance? What is the importance of having personal finance management? Then personal finance strategies. There are 7 steps of financial planning, and we are going to see what are all those. Principles of personal finance and their types. Personal finance budget with their example. The personal financial planning process and establishing your financial goals. The basic economic activities of the consumer that relates the personal finance and an example on this. Then the 30-day rule and what are all the outcomes of this presentation. And now, before getting into this, what is personal finance? Let me tell what is finance. In generally, we can tell personal finance as a monetary term. The finance is the process of raising fund or capital of any kind of expenditure. And it is the term for the management, creation and study of money and investment. And specifically, it deals with some of the questions like how an individual, a company or government acquires money. And in the context of business, the capital arises as the finance and how they spend or invest on that money. Then this term finance also encompasses some of the other terms, which includes banking, leverage or debt, credit, capital markets, money and investments. And also it creates an oversight of the financial system. The types of finance. There are 3 major types of finance. They are personal finance, corporate finance and public finance. So which inspired me to take this topic for the presentation is that this quote. When I was dwelling for the topics, I saw this quote that too many people spend money they earn, but they buy things that they don't want to impress the people that they don't like. This was said by Will Rogers, and this quote inspired me to choose this topic. And here the main topic comes, personal finance. Means before getting into the in-depth on this topic, let me share you a real-time situation which happened in my life. A couple of years ago, one of my neighbors came home, and surprisingly, he was pursuing his career in the finance stream. I was inviting him, gave him a warm welcome, and I served him one of the desserts. By having desserts in his hand, I asked him a question. Can you please tell me what is finance? Then he threw me back a question that who prepared this dessert? Then I replied that it was prepared by me. Then he threw back me another question that today you have prepared this for 4 members and there is a surprise visit of your neighbors or an informed visit, or he asked me, just take, you're having a family function tomorrow and it was around 25 people who are coming to your home and your father is asking you to prepare the same dessert tomorrow. Then I replied him, yes, I can prepare. Then he asked me the question that how will you get the finance? Actually, those time I was not financially dependent. I was financially dependent on my father. I have to ask him for financial help. So my father asked me to make a list of all the ingredients which is required. So I asked him, my father asked me to prepare a list and I started making a list of it. By keeping the 4 members as base, I made a list for 25 members and I did. Then I gave it to my father and got finance from him. Now, my neighbor asked me what you have written. You have written a budget here, right? Then that budget includes finance. So finance is the base for everything. For example, even for small things, finance is much required. The same thing is required for economy also. So, as the finance is the base of all the economic activities, an individual should maintain the finance himself. So here comes the arisal of personal finance. Before getting into what is personal finance, let me show why this personal finance is important. The personal finance is a vital part of not only managing the day-to-day financial needs, but also for planning the financial future. And the sooner we get a grip on the personal finance, the better our long-term prospects will be. That we can plan for a retirement on some other investments, all such things. So for this kind only, the personal finance is important. Then what is personal finance? Personal finance is the process of planning and managing the personal financial activities. And such activities includes income generation, spending, saving, investing, and protecting yourself. Then this process of managing one's personal finances can be summarized through budget or a financial plan. The term personal finance also includes some of the other terms that is related to this, and those include employment, budgeting, insurance, mortgage, credit facilities, the salary which a person receives, and the deposit which a person makes from his investment, income, investment, and the retirement planning which he makes, what are all the tax advantages he can gain, social security, savings, and debt. There are some of the key areas of personal finance. They are income, spending, saving, investing, and protection. Income. The income refers to source of cash inflow that an individual receives and then uses to support themselves and their family. It is the starting point of all the financial activities. The income which a person earns, it is only the base for all the financial activities, not only for him, but for his family also. Then there are some of the common sources of income, which include salaries, bonuses, wages, pensions, and dividends. And nextly, the second main area is spending. Spending includes all the type of expenses of an individual and incurs related that of buying goods and services or anything that is consumable. And this spending does not include any investment which a person makes. The expense which he spends, which he buys goods, which will not gain him any returns, comes under the spending. Then there are 2 categories of spending. Those are cash and credit. Cash includes when a person makes cash spending, he has to spend it wisely. Whether he has to spend or not, he has to decide it prior and then he has to spend. And when it comes to credit, a person must think twice or thrice before he is spending on it. The credit spending which he makes should be very clear that whether it is needed, whether actually he is in need of spending it or not. Then there are some of the common sources of spending also. They are rent, mortgage payments, taxes, food, entertainment, travel, and credit card payments. And third main area is saving. Saving refers to the excess of cash which a person has in his hand. A person will have some income and he'll be spending it, and he'll be having some of the portion balance. There will be some surplus. That surplus is called as saving. And managing the saving is very critical, and this is the crucial area in the personal finance management. And some of the common forms of savings that include, he can save in the form of physical cash, or he can have a savings bank account, checking bank account, or he can use it, save it by using money market securities. Then investing. Investing relates to the purchase of assets that a person is expected to generate at the rate of return. By investing, there is no guarantee that he'll get a return of it. So investing is one of the riskiest thing. Not all the assets will give him returns. Some of the assets can give and some cannot give. So he can hope for positive rate of return, but there is no surety that he'll get the positive rate of return. So while investing, he has to check before he's investing on something. This is where we see that the relationship between risk and return. In general term, we can tell this investment as it has the relationship between risk and return. The common forms of investing include stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate, private companies, commodities, and art. Here comes the fifth main area, that is protection. Personal protection refers to a wide range of products that a person can be used to guard against unforeseen or an adverse event. The uncertainties happen everywhere, and it cannot be predictable. So for that purpose, he can have some money for that. So the common protection products includes, he can take the life insurance policy, health insurance policy, or he can make some estate planning also. And the next thing is the importance of having good personal finance. Firstly, you can understand your money better. And if you want to understand your money fully, it is important to be financially literate, as well as have a good personal finance management plan in your place. And as a result, you will have to control your money and not the other way around. So most people encounter personal issues and even experience some of the turmoil, that because they allow their money to take over their decisions. Their decision should not take over the money which they have in their hand. So with personal finance management, you'll be aware of your financial situation. You'll understand whether your sources of income can sustain your lifestyle or not. Most importantly, you can choose the best investments that can double your money. In case if there is any risk, you can predict it in earlier, please better don't invest on that thing. Through this, you'll also see if you need some more sources of income, whether the income which you earn now is enough or you need some more income also. And thus, by this way, you can have full control over your money. And second thing, you can properly organize your spendings and savings. As I've already mentioned, the knowledge of money might not only be limited to knowing how to spend it on bills or other monthly expenses, such as debt and mortgage or other expenses which you make regularly. However, with proper personal finance management, you learn to properly keep track on your expenses which you make. And as a result of this, you'll know where your money goes and where you should spend, where you should not spend, where you should save your money. If these don't go to the essentials which are required, you can cut off them from your budget and put some extra money on the savings. You can reduce your expenses and put some more money on the savings. And to save you can create some bank accounts, use some financial apps to get to know how to save and how to reduce your spending, make a checklist of what you do, and you can establish the clear financial goals. And the third topic is you can establish your clear financial goals. If you are in a mission to become financially free, it should be a priority to set a financial goal. When you are knowledgeable about personal finance management, you'll be able to tell whether your goals are realistic or not. For instance, if your goal is to limit your expenses and save more money, then keeping track on your daily expenditures is one of the ways to achieve this. Through personal finance management, you can set your financial goals by doing some of the following steps, and those following steps I'll tell you now. Assess your priorities. Make sure you're having a priority list, whether it is necessary or not. Then line them up, the order which they have to be made. Then be smart in lining them up. Then check your budget. Monitor your progress. Then create money machines. The fourth topic is create money machines. One of the best benefits of financial management is that it awakens you and your desire to earn more. Its main motive is to make more money, is to make more income, which you already, though you generate more income already, this will motivate you to generate more income again. In addition, you'll learn how to invest your money correctly, giving you more returns instead of letting your money sleep in your bank account. There are some of the strategies of personal finance, and those are: devise a budget first, then create an emergency fund. When an uncertainty happens, only this emergency fund can help you. Then limit your debt. Use your credit cards wisely. If it is required, only then please use it. Then monitor your credit score. Consider your family. Your personal finance must also include your family expenses, and you have to reduce the expenses which are not required. Then pay off your student loans. Plan and save for your retirement. The retirement planning is the most important area when it comes for the personal finance strategy. Then maximize your tax breaks and give yourself a break. There are some of the steps to create our own personal financial strategy. And the first step is that to decide what you want your money to do for you. Before investing on something or before planning something, decide priorly what you are expecting from your money. Then track your spending. You will be having a certain goals and you're going to spend on something, and keep track on your spending, whether you're spending it rightly or not. Then organize your expenses into categories. Categorize all your expenses. Then make a clear budget of what you're going to do, and please be sticky to that. Then set the goals of yourself. If you can't set it on yourself, then go talk to a financial advisor, then take help from him, then set the goals. And this is the way, these are the steps that you can create your own personal financial strategies. The most important aspects of personal finance is that assessing your current financial position. It aims to improve your financial position further, looking at expected cash flows and current savings, etc. Then buying insurance to protect yourself from risk and making sure your material is standing secure. Before you make some insurance policy, also make sure that you are investing on the right place at the right time. Then calculating and filing the taxes. By maintaining the proper personal finance, you can also reduce your tax burden. Then you can see the improvement in savings and investment also. Thereby, finally, you can have some retirement planning. The 7 steps of financial planning are: understand the client's personal finance. You can approach to a financial advisor, or you can create it by yourself. Understand the individual's personal financial circumstances. Then step 2 is that identify and select the goals. You have to select the goals which is to be done by yourself. Then the third step is analyzing the individual's course of action and alternatives. What are all the actions which he is undertaking and what are all the alternatives he has. Then step 4, develop the financial planning recommendations. Step 5, is that presenting a financial planning recommendation. You'll be having a plan in your hand, try to present it to others and get suggestions from others also. Then step 6 is implement the financial planning recommendation. Here in this 6th step, you're going to implement the financial plan which you have already made. And the 7th step is that monitoring the progress and updates that your financial plan is already made. There are some of the principles of personal finance, and there is the 5 main principles. They are saving, priority, restraint, investment, and knowledge. Savings, initially, the first principle is saving. And saving provides a financial backstop for life's uncertainties and increases the feeling of security and the peace of mind. Prioritization. The prioritization leads you to decide for your priorities before you spend on something else. Then you can segregate all the unavoidable expenses from the ones. Make priority. If it is necessary to spend today, then spend. If not, save it for later. Then the third thing is restraint. There is a 30-day rule for this restraint. We'll see it later. And this technique protects the individual from buying all the impulse things. Then investment. Before investing, analyze the cost and benefits of financial product. You have so many investment opportunities and there are many business ideas. So make your choice which is highly beneficial for you. Then the 5th principle is knowledge. Develop an interest in financial management. Better knowledge of finance and markets will lead you for better decision making. No one can make millions and keep millions without learning about personal finance. This is the important, and this quote states that the most important thing is personal finance. The finance plays its major role everywhere. In whatever we do, in wherever we go, the finance is the most important thing. And the types of personal finance includes budgeting, saving, investment, banking, mortgages, loans, retirement planning, estate planning, tax planning, and insurance. Here is an example of an individual monthly. There is a monthly wise income, his expense, and the surplus which he is having, and the amount which he saves. This is the example of an individual, and the graph also depicts. Firstly, the income. The source of income is his job salary, job bonus, and other income which he has. And let me go with Jan first. So job salary which a person earns is $6,000 and he has no job bonus in that particular month. And from other sources, he is earning $1,000 and his total income is $7,000. Then there are a list of expenses which he had made in the month of Jan. He spends $1,700 for rent and $800 for food and groceries, $1,200 for restaurants, and $400 for entertainment, $1,000 for childcare, and he does not spend anything on clothing, vacation, and other expenses. So this is an example of his income and expenses. And here comes the surplus, the money which total expenses is $5,100. His income is $7,000 and his expenses is $5,100. And here the surplus comes as $1,900. So he can save it or invest it. This same process continues for each and every month. And the following graphs depicts that his surplus deficit, and that is his saving. As I've already told some of the main areas, here is the example for each thing. Savings includes two things: general savings and emergency saving. Investment can be done in short term, mid term, and also long term. Financial protection. He can make term insurance, health insurance, mortgage protection, and also personal accidental insurance. According to section 80C and 80D, tax saving, some of the retirement planning schemes are also included in this, such as NPS, corpus bill, PPF, and mutual fund. And in other case, he can generate income through rent, STP withdrawal, and he can get something from life insurance annuity. Or from the all, what he requires is financial stability. So far, what we have saw is what is personal finance and why the personal finance is important. And now we are going to see the process, how we can implement the personal finance, how we can make the personal financial planning, all such things. So let's get into the personal financial planning process. Firstly, evaluate your financial health. Then the second step is define your financial goals. Third is develop a plan of action. Then implement your plan, review your progress, reevaluate, and revise your plan. The importance of this personal financial planning is to manage the unplanned. There will be some unplanned uncertainties which will occur. There will be having some medical expenses or something like that. So for that, to manage those things, this personal finance will be very helpful. And accumulate wealth for special expenses. In case, let us take marriage as an example. It is one of the examples for special expenses. We'll spend more during those occasions. Then saving for retirement. Cover all your assets. Invest intelligently. When you invest on something, think twice, get the complete knowledge on what you invest and where you invest, then invest intelligently. Minimize your payments to Uncle Sam. This term is most popular and this is very common in United States, that this statement says that minimizing your tax burden which you pay to the government. Then, as I've told, the process of financial planning, the first step is to evaluating your financial plan. Examine your current financial situation. How much money do you make and how much you are spending and on what you are spending. Then use careful record, keeping to track on your finances and spending. Make a note of what are all the things you spend and where you spend, why you spend, whether it is necessarily needed to spend or not. Then step 2, define your financial goals. Write or formalize your goals. Attach a financial cost to each one of it. When will you need the money to achieve the goal? How much money you need to achieve the goal? When you need that money, what are all the, you will be segregating your goal into short-term goals. Even if maybe the short-term goals also, you will be segregating it. You will be categorizing it. When you are categorizing it, make sure that when the money is needed the most, then analyze and revise your goals. Step 3 is develop a plan of action. Your plan should contain the following 4 things: flexibility, liquidity, protection, and minimization of taxes. Flexibility equals plan for life changes and unexpected. Liquidity means there will be immediate use of cash. You have to use it quickly, and you can easily the liquid assets you can convert it easily into cash. Then protection. Prepare for the unexpected. That is a common source of protection is insurance. Then minimization of taxes. Keep more of what you earn. So this can be satisfied only by reducing the tax burden. Step 4. Implement your plan. Stick to your plan. Use your financial plan as a roadmap to achieve your goals. Then keep goals in the mind and keep on working towards them. Once you set the goal, be very sticky and start working towards it. Then step 5, review, re-evaluate and revise. So review the progress of your plan, re-evaluate and revise for changes in your life. Be prepared to formulate a different plan if it is needed. To attain, already you will be having a plan. It is common that to have plan, if the plan A fails, we will definitely move on to plan B. If not plan B, then we'll move on to plan C. So be prepared for everything. And this figure shows the same financing process, all the 5 steps. After the 5th step, again the first step arises, then followed by. As I told, there should be some financial goals. Here, the main role of goals comes. So establishing your financial goals. the goals has been categorized into three: short term, mid-term, and long term. Short term goal is within 1 year, and intermediate term goal or mid-term goal we can tell it as. So that is from 1 to 10 years, and the long term goal is more than 10 years. Short term goals: accumulate emergency funds equal to 3 months living expenses. So from your earning, make sure that you're having 3 month expense as your savings also. Then pay off bills and credit cards, purchase insurance, purchase a major item which you require, then financing for a vacation. Intermediate term goals. Let's say you're having 2 kids, and in the intermediate goals, you can save for your older child, and you can save for his college fee. Then save for home improvement, the savings that you can use for down payment, paying off the major debt, finance large items such as weddings or some other occasions, etc. Then purchase a vacation home. The long-term goals includes, as I've already told, let's say we are having 2 kids, and in the mid-term goal, we'll plan for first kid. In this long-term goal, you'll go for your younger child's college also. And purchasing a retirement home, then create a retirement fund to maintain current standard of living. Take care of elderly family members, and here you can start a business also. You can, if your goal is to start a business later, you have to plan it in the very prior stage itself. So by planning your personal finance, reducing all your expenses, and individual expense when it reduces, then you can have a big dream and goal also. There are some of the economic activities which a consumer makes, and these activities are highly related to the personal finance. Firstly, earning, then spending, savings, and borrowing. Earning means gaining money by working. He can gain money by owning a business, receiving from the investment, returns from the investment where he has been invested already. And a person's career choices, ability to find employment, and ability to advance determine his or her expected earnings and standard of living. Only by earning, a person can gain his standard of living in the society. Then there are some of the factors that affects earning. Those are career choices, and this includes the type of career or job which he possesses, the place of employment, and nextly, the ability to find the employment, his educational level, the skills which he possesses, the employability skills which he has, prior job performance, and his experience over other jobs, what are all the economic conditions of an individual, then workplace trends and opportunities. Then ability to advance, type of career or job, education level, job performance, and economic conditions, all those things will be included in the ability to advance also. So, career choice, ability to find employment, and his ability to advance, equip himself in the field which he is, will give him more earnings. And by earning more, a person attains the standard of living. So here, the term responsible earning includes the lifetime earnings and the standard of living of an individual, and this is decided by making his career choices. And the education, if a person has to earn more, the education plays the major role. If the education of a person is high, then the income earning ability of a person will also be high. If the level of education is less, then he is also tend to unemployment also. Here is an example for employed and unemployed, which relates to the education of a person. When the literacy rate increases, the unemployment level automatically decreases. The second thing is spending. Using money to purchase goods and services is called as spending. The way in which a person spends money determines the value he receives and influences the economy also. And each purchase which a person makes contributes to the demand for the product. Actually, when a person is having more personal finance, when he is saving more, or when the spending is more, then automatically the demand for the product will also increase, and it will also affect the economy. And the spending also includes the law of scarcity. An economic system cannot produce all goods and services that a consumer wants. Then responsible spending. This responsible spending includes researching and planning your purchases in advance. When you need to spend on something, make sure that you're planning it in prior. The third thing is saving. Saving is it means that putting aside money for later use. Money may be saved in the bank account or in wallet also. You can save the money in the form of cash or a coin also. Why we are saving is to use it when there are some emergency, for recurring expenses, future purchases which we are going to make, the financial goals which we have, and for the retirement. There are some of the benefits of saving, which includes provide money for future purchases, and it can be used to, the money which you save can also use to earn the income, produce a healthy economy, increase personal financial security. When we save more, the returns which we yield from it will also be high. And last one is borrowing. Borrowing means buy now, pay later policy. The examples of borrowing are buying with credit card, buying the goods on installment, payday loans, cash advances, then layaway purchases. There are some of the reasons for borrowing also. When we buy in bulk, when we are in need to buy more, or emergencies, when we buy some goods for convenience, then preparing for future goals, we'll make a guess of it that we'll yield the money in future, so we'll make some borrowing initial stage. Then taking advantage of good sales or offers. When we receive a good sale or an offer of expensive product or the product which is rarely available, then we can borrow. But the reasonable borrowing means we have to borrow only when we can pay it back. On the due date, if we are able to pay them back, only at that time we have to borrow from others. I'll show you an example. Let us consider a fictional example to understand the practical application of this personal finance. There are two people called Arthur and Brendan. They work in XYZ bank as the probation officers. In a month, they earn $4,000 each. Both are married and they're having a child. While Arthur is keen on his personal finance, Brendan does not plan his finance. Thus, for a family of three, their spendings are as follows. The expenses of Arthur and Brendan has been tabulated here. Arthur pays $2,000 for rent and Brendan pays $1,900. And for other utilities, Arthur spends $600 and Brendan $780. For transportation, Arthur spends $150 and Brendan $120. For child's education, both of them spend $600. Then for debt repayment, Arthur spends $100 and Brendan spends $200. On miscellaneous expenses, Arthur spends $250 and Brendan $500. And miscellaneous expenses also includes outing, leisure and entertainment which they make. Investment of Arthur is $100 and savings of him is $200. Brendan does not have any investment or any saving. Also, let us note here the debt repayment. The debt of Arthur is 100, but the debt of Brendan is 200. From the above table, it is evident that the Brendan spent 100 more than he is earning. Then from his earning, he has spent more $100 using his credit card, and this is on the top of that $200 he has debt from the past borrowings also. He does not have any savings or investments. From this, we can clearly state that Brendan has no financial planning. On the contrary of this, Ardit plans, he budgets, he also keeps track in his spending, and he is having track of his finances. So as a result, he invests $100 and also saves $200 every month. The difference, and this table actually shows the difference between the planned and unplanned finances. And Warren Buffett states that he gives two rules, and the rule number 1 is never losing money, and rule 2 is never forgetting the rule 1. And finally, I'll state a 30-day rule. The rule applies to purchase that an individual wants, but he does not really need. A person wants to buy something, he wants to buy, and actually he is not in need of buying it. So the 30-day rule recommends waiting for 30 days before he is spending on something. He has to buy something, but he is not actually in need of it. So what this 30-day rule states is that before buying something which he wants, he has to wait for 30 days. And after 30 days of pondering, if the individual still fancies, they can go ahead to purchase that, or if not, it is better to not purchase it. If after pondering all, if he really wants it, if he is in need of it, only then he can buy. If not, he can reduce the expenses and he can make it as his savings. This financial management technique protects the individuals from impulse buying. Some of the areas of personal finance, as we have already seen, these are some of the key benefits which a person can earn from the personal finance. Those are: be motivated and be consistent. Keep track of your expenses. Step 3, set up the right bank accounts for you. Step 4 is pay yourself first. Step 5 is budgeting. Spend less than you earn. The amount you spend should be very less than you earn. Step 6, build an emergency fund and cash cushion. Step 7, pay off all your debt first. And the step 8 is have multiple streams of income. Step 9, the most important step, invest wisely. Then learn about pensions, insurance, and other wills. And many people want financial freedom, but they actually lack knowledge of it and how to do it. Something that working on more jobs can let them save more money. However, even the highest paid employees can be buried in debt. The main reason behind this is their inability to manage their finances. So, when you start managing your finances, you will have a better perspective of where and how you are spending your money. This can help you to keep within your budget and even increase your savings. So with good finance management, you'll also learn to control your money, and so you can achieve your financial goals. Through this, you'll be more financial savvy and have more than one source of income. Let me end with a quote. If it's not your salary that it's actually not your salary that makes you rich, but it's your spending habits that actually makes you rich. This was said by Charles A. Jack. Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam, for your nice presentation on the topic personal finance. Now I request the chief organizer, Honorable Principal Ambedkar sir, please come and have some concluding words for us. Please, sir.
If someone want to discuss with resource person, we will allow them. If anyone not, then we will continue.
Sorry, now I request the dear participants, please. If you have any query or doubt, you please come ahead and discuss with madam. Dear participants, please.
हेलो मैडम, नमस्ते मैडम। मैडम मैं एक क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहूँगा, हिंदी में बोलूँगा चलेगा ना? नहीं तो सर ट्रांसलेट करेंगे। एक ऐसी स्कीम जो जीरो रिस्क, ओनली जीरो रिस्क और बेनिफिशियर हो, एक ऐसी स्कीम जो हाई रिस्क हो और बेनिफिशियर हो।
सॉरी फॉर इंटरप्शन सर, मुझे हिंदी नहीं समझ, अच्छी तरह नहीं समझ सकता. It would be better if we go in English.
He was asking that if there is zero risk in finance, which schemes are there? He wished to know. No risk schemes which are available for financial investment. You unmute yourself.
Unmute yourself.
Sorry. You can invest on shares, bonds, if you are very familiar on something. When you are familiar with something, gain some knowledge on the secure schemes which are already available. There are some of the apps, some of the government.
थैंक यू मैडम। जयवीर सिंह जी को पता चला है कि गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स है जो कि जीरो इन्वेस्टमेंट पे काम करती है, और कुछ जो स्कीम्स है जो कि हमें फ़ायदेमंद होगी, ऐसे इसमें जैसे कि बॉन्ड है, म्यूचुअल फंड है, इसका आप यूज़ कर सकते हैं, ऐसा उन्होंने बोला है। धन्यवाद सर।
I'm sorry sir, you are not clearly audible.
I am not audible.
Yeah, now it's audible sir. Before it was not audible.
Okay.
Yes, dear participants, again who want to ask something, please come ahead.
Thank you.
Okay then, I think ma'am have explained it very well, covered every points, so there is no doubt is left. Now I request the chief organizer of the series, Honorable Principal M. Ambedkar sir, please come and have some concluding words for us, please sir.
Thank you Prashant sir, and today's resource person Mitra madam from Vellore, all the participants from my college, respected Praveen Udge sir, Professor Sanjay Kale sir, Professor Ken Kadam sir, Anita Dole madam, and all other daily participating participants. Every day we meet with new resource person with new topic. Today's topic was personal finance, and the finance is the issue where everyone needs to know more about it, because here all the faculties are from every side, but personally they should know the financial planning, how it will be beneficial. And the last words also you have said that how you gain is not important, but how you invest it, means spend it, that is important one. So the different ways how to invest, how to plan, where to invest, what are the benefits, how we make the pension plans, retirement plan. So everything was very perfectly compiled in the PPT, and you are not so senior resource person as compared to others, but you still did very perfect and very best job. I will thank you to Hema Malini madam also, and in future also, but you I recommend personally one thing, that you should go very slowly while presenting that one, because matter was so much and you are going to very speedy, but it should be a digestible one. So it's personal request, no problem. It was very best PPT, very best examples, quotes, everything was very perfect. Congratulate to you, and we wish all the best in future to you madam. Thank you.
Thank you sir.
Yes, now I move towards the vote of thanks. Shri Kumarswami Mahavidyalaya Ausa, District Latur, organized World Record Series 2. And today was the 103rd day for the series, and the topic was very important in everybody's life. The topic was the personal finance, which have presented Dr. MITHRA R madam. So ma'am have explained it very well. Ma'am have explained all those points, like then see what is the finance, then what is the income, what are the types of personal finance, then how the finance plays a major role in any fields, then the principle of personal finance, and how to make financial plannings. Now these are the points covered in a lecture so nicely. The PPT was it was better one, and ma'am have explained it step by step, point to point. So I'm very thankful to you, madam. Now I thanks to Dr.
Thank you, sir.
Who is the chief organizer of the series. I also thanks the colleagues of my college, Dr. Sanjay Kale sir, Dr. K.N. Kadam sir, Dr. Sudhir Garar sir, Dr. Karar sir, Vocational Supervisor Praveen Utge sir, and others. And lastly, I heartily thanks to all dear participants, those who join the series regularly, take the benefits of it, and enhance the beauty and inspires us every day. So with this, I thanks to you all. Now I request dear participants, please fill the feedback link which is given in the chat box. So with the kind permission of Honorable Principal Sir, now I declare that the today's session is over. Thanks madam for paying valuable time. I express sincere gratitude towards you. Thank you very much, ma'am.
I once again thank Dr. Bedkar sir and Prashant sir and Dr. Hemani ma'am and my dear friend Ms. Harita Vashni for introducing me to this session. Thank you so much.
Thank you to you and thank you to the introducer madam. They are also the resource person of our series. Thank you.